Yo guys, I'm finally back with another Facebook ads video, and today I'm going to show you how to set up Facebook ad campaigns for e-commerce going into 2025, so the end of 2024. Now, if you're new to the channel, I basically show you how to run Facebook ads for e-commerce brands. I manage 7 figures every year for multiple clients that I work with. And, obviously, if you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It's been so long since I've posted a video that there's going to be some things different. To be honest, quite a lot is different now. The last time I posted a strategy video was around about the time that I started to change what I was doing. But it was still very similar until the last couple of 2 months. And yeah, with the introduction of flex ads and stuff, things are quite different. Okay, so I'm back now anyway, and today I'm going to show you this structure that I'm using, and then we'll get into the actual ads manager and it will build a campaign for you and show you how it's done. Okay, so it's more or less the same. I use one campaign CBO and then have ad sets within there, and not dynamic creative tests anymore because they're being superseded. But we've now moved to flex ads. Okay, so one thing to note, I used to advise that you're going to segment campaigns by avatar. So if you have products that are relevant to, or different products that are relevant to the same avatar, you could put them all in the one campaign. Okay, now that is advice that I can't give as a blanket statement anymore, because I did encounter an issue this year where that greatly affected the overall performance of a business, because we were at massive scale, and putting other products into the campaign was taking traffic away from like a very important product basically for this business in terms of how their account behaves. Okay, so that's getting into too much detail. I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to do more videos now that I'm back, and I'll show you how I'm looking at stuff differently now, looking at the business overall, looking way more in Shopify and in a Shopify like analytical reports, like impressions and things, impressions per product. But for today, what you need to know is you can still segment your one campaign by avatar, but you got to be careful and just make sure that, if you're losing traffic on an important product that's like a flagship product and it's bringing down the overall performance, you want to get that other product out and get it into a separate campaign. Okay, so the easiest thing to do is just to segment them by product. So product and country probably, but you can still put stuff into the same market if you're selling like globally. You could segment them by tier 1 countries, tier 2 countries, tier 3 countries, or whatever. Okay, there's just so many different variables that it's hard to give you a blanket statement. But I go into more detail in my course, and certainly I'll do more videos going into that now that it's like a big topic. Okay, but for now, the easiest thing to do is just segment your campaign by products, right? And as I've always said, you want to be advertising the top 20% of products that are bringing 80% of your overall revenue. Okay, so this is the structure. I'm going to be calling it the Flex 5, just because Charlie had his 3-2-2 method that everyone was using. And I'm not using the 3-2-2 as it relates to having 3 ads, 2 copy and 2 headlines. So I'm going to be calling this the Flex 5, but that's just a bit of fun. Okay, so you have your one CBO campaign. Within that, you're going to have your Flex winners. So these are your ad sets that are using flexible ads, the ad type from Meta. And yeah, if they're working, you're basically just going to leave them and you're going to pin them to the top of Ads Manager, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so within my flex ads, I use 5 creatives now. I'm using 5 copy and I'm using 5 headlines, right? And I'm using 3 of the best performing ad copy and 3 of the best performing headlines, 2 new ad copy and 2 new headlines every time I set up an ad. Okay, so you have these winning ones just running, you leave them. If you find something that wins, you pin it to the Ads Manager and you begin new tests. So at any one time, as a kind of minimum, I'll be running 2 of these fresh tests, but I might have 2 or 3 of these flex winners ad sets that are bringing the performance of the account, the campaign, the business pinned. Okay, so you might have 5 ad sets or something running at any one time, but each week you're only testing, let's say 2. If you're on a very low budget, less than 3 to 5 times your target CPA, maybe you only want to be running 1 test ad set a week. And likewise, if you're on a very big budget, you can be running more than 2 tests a week. It all depends on what sort of scale you're at and what your account can handle, right? So anyway, with these tests, we're doing the exact same thing. We're putting 5 creatives, 3 copy that are old and proven, 3 headlines that are proven, 2 new copy, 2 new headlines. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to pair existing proven stuff, limit variables, pair stuff that's been proven with stuff that is new to try and find new things that are better than what we had before, right? So one of the limitations, or one of the things with the 3-2-2 method that we used to use, sorry for anyone that's new, we're just going to keep referring back to this. You can watch old videos to understand it, but this is really for people who watch the channel. So the 3-2-2, the limitation of that, and I knew this at the time when I started using it, was with dynamic creative ads, you always got better performance if you maxed out the creatives it was asking for. So if you added 10 creatives and you added 5 copy and 5 headlines, you would actually get better performance from that dynamic creative ad set. I know this because, 3 years ago, I was running accounts with dynamic creative ads. This is how I came across Charlie in the first place and was curious about what he was doing, because it mimicked a lot of the stuff I was doing as well, just naturally, and then improved it, okay? So you always got better performance by running the maxed out, because I split tested as many times and the result was always the same. It was always the one that got the best performance. I tested all these different combinations of how much copy, how much headlines, how many creatives you could add. The reason Charlie was doing it was because with dynamic creative testing, we were trying to limit variables to try and find things that were better, isolate them via the post ID, and then have them all housed in a winner's ad set. Now you can't really do that anymore the same way, and we're leaving the ad sets running. So to me, it makes more sense that you are giving them a better chance of just performing as their own entities, okay? So the other thing that Charlie used to say was, having, let's say you had 5 copy, 5 text, 10 creative, you're creating so many different variations that it's going to spread your budget thin, and that was another reason why he was using the 3-2-2, okay? So I don't know if that's still his mindset, but I think that's just not the case anymore. Anyone that's running this, you see how much the bad stuff is suppressed, and you can see within your dynamic creative ad breakdowns as well. If you run a landscape, if you make the same video, you run it as portrait, square, and landscape, that landscape video version of this, if it's the same video, is going to be completely suppressed, okay? So the algorithm is fine to suppress a bunch of stuff. So if something's not good, it's just going to be suppressed. So you're not really wasting budget on all these numbers of combos by maxing out the ad set. That's just not the case. The AI suppresses it, right? And you're actually getting the benefit of having more variety and more longevity, because it can pull from all these different assets as it grows and scales. So the reason I don't use 10, I use 5, is simply the resource. I've been trying to run them with 10 to see how it goes, but from my clients, trying to get 10 versions of a creative is just a bit much to ask. And for my own brand, doing it myself, it just seems like overkill because it's such low spend. So yeah, for now I'm doing 5, but at some point I might be running 10 if I can get some real creative volume. But yeah, if you're running big accounts, give it a try as 10. Like I said, I split test this back in the day multiple times, and maxing out every aspect works the best. You're limited to 5 copy and 5 headlines, so that's why they're 5. But certainly the creatives could be 10, okay? So rules for the Flex 5, very similar to 322. All creatives must be of the same type, image, video, or GIF in any one test ad set. You're going to be having one concept per Flex ad. So one desire, one fear, whatever. To be honest, right now I'm even having the same hook and the same benefits and things mentioned, which I'll show you in actual examples that I have in the account. You're going to be testing one variable. Like I said, one variable per Flex ad. So if you're running them with videos, the variable most likely is going to be the start. That 3 to 5 seconds hook. Have 5 different versions of that. And a different version might simply be adding text on top, like a text overlay. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a different start every time, okay? And then for the images, it's going to be the actual design of the image. So I'll have the same headline, more or less, in a concept, and I'll have the same benefits. Again, more or less, depends like the orientation, how they fit. You might have to tweak them a little bit, but it's essentially saying the same thing. But the actual visual design of that might be vastly different. So if I'm doing one of these benefits diagrams thing, it's the same benefits each time, but I might be having one that's very much like emojis and stuff, another one that's just very text, another one that is very AI, but it's the same concept, same headline. And I'll show you again this, you'll see what I mean. But you're just changing the actual look visual of it, because that's the thing that's could be the difference between performing and not, you know. Your benefits don't really change. Your headlines don't really change too much. It's just making a way to package it that people want to respond to, okay? That's the hard bit you're trying to figure out, okay? So winning, yeah, and the other thing is if you're iterating on a winning concept, so your winners here that are sitting there, if you want to just do small iterations to those creatives, obviously you don't have the breakdown anymore. So what you're trying to do is just pick random stuff, and that can have multiple variables within it because it's based on something that already has proven in the count. You're just trying to get like some variation to it. So it's naturally going to be the same because it's based on something, but you're obviously able to tweak it a little bit, and it doesn't matter. You're not trying to isolate what you've tweaked. You're just trying to get something that works a bit better than what is already working for that one creative, right? And then the winning Flex ads, like I said, you're simply going to pin them in Ads Manager, okay? So that's quite the intro, you know, but let's get right into the juicy bit of it now. So as you can see here in my brand, I have this one campaign for the one product. Well, actually I sell 2 products now, but I'd only advertise one of them. And again, I'll go into my brand at some point, do a video on that, because yeah, there's some interesting stuff that's happened. It started last year when I was doing lots of content for YouTube and I was trying to promote the course. I really neglected the brand. I wasn't doing any new ads. I wasn't doing anything, and it was just burning. It was doing terrible. I was losing a lot of money on the front end. It was recouping it a bit with return people, but yeah, I ended up pausing the whole ad account, taking a break, and then decided, you know what, I want to run an e-commerce brand. I don't necessarily want to have an info product, which is obviously what this channel was promoting. So yeah, since I've been back on looking after this, it's in a way better place, but it's scaled right back right now, okay? But it's way more profitable, which is good, and we'll scale it back up again coming into the next year once I have new stock. But anyway, let's not get into that today. We're talking strategic Facebook ads, right? So you can see here, I basically have one campaign pinned to the top. That's my only winner that I've found that's taken enough of the spend since I relaunched in July. Again, it's so small that's not that surprising. It doesn't really need many winners. And then you've got 2 tests running here this week, and I've already scheduled this one. Let me see if I can show you the column. Yeah, this one's scheduled to go live on Monday. I always like starting stuff on a Monday, giving the full calendar week to test. but we're going to add today the second test. So what's going to happen is these are either going to be pinned because they win, or they're going to be paused because they're not winning tomorrow, Sunday, or maybe even Monday, to be honest. And then on Monday, this one and the one we're going to set up today will go live as the new tests for that week, okay? So we could effectively have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things running at the one time, or we might only have this and the 2 tests if these get paused, right? So that gives you an idea. It differs how much you'll have running at any one time. It's not strictly 3 things, okay? So let's put on my columns again. And let's get right into setting up the ad set. So yeah, you're going to set up a campaign. Obviously, actually I should probably show you this. For people that are new, you're going to set up a campaign, sales campaign, okay? And we want to set it up as a manual campaign. Okay, manual sales campaign. And from there, everything's going to be the same actually. So you're going to come in here, check Advantage campaign budget on, and then set your daily budget, right? I've got other videos telling you how to work out your budget, so go and find them on the channel. But anyway, let's say you've set up this campaign, you've got the shell. Well, I'm going to delete this one so we don't get confused. Well, that's what you do for a new one. If you've already got an existing one, you're just doing the tests. You come in and set up a new ad set. So we're going to create the ad set. And we're going to hit continue, okay? So this is a CBO, Advantage Plus budget, or whatever it's called, CBO budget. We're in the ad set level now. So we're going to have it as maximize number of conversions. That's fine. We're going to select our pixel. And again, if you've not got this set up via the API, go watch my video on that. You're going to get better quality data. Your campaigns are going to optimize better, right? So show more options, 7-day click, 1-day view. We're happy with this. If you don't have Flex ads yet, you can click Dynamic Creative, but you can actually just go watch my old videos if you don't have Flex ads yet. But yeah, if you've got Flex ads, this will eventually disappear. But for now, it's going to sit there. One thing for people in the US, if you select website and shop as the conversion location, you can't actually run Flex ads. You have to run Dynamic Creative ads currently, okay? So yeah, don't know why. I asked my Meta rep to find out, but she just says that's what it is right now. So that's probably going to disappear. But if you select website only as a conversion location, you will now be given Flex ads as that's been rolled out to everyone, okay? So this account is the UK, so we're going to have Flex ads, but this is still shown here. So I don't think we need to, let me just check. Yeah, we need to select it. I normally just duplicate the existing ones. I don't actually create new stuff. So let's just check this works, to be honest. Yeah, there you go. So you can see flexible ads now appeared. Okay, so currently in this account, I still need to check this in my other account for one of the clients, the big ones. This doesn't exist anymore when you select the website only, okay? So anyway, I've selected Dynamic Creative, but it's going to convert to a Flex ad. This is just there. So come in, we're going to set the start date for Monday, and we're going to do it at midnight. Okay, I always do 01, just a signature thing. But you can do 00, no problem. Everything here is going to be left. We're going to come down to the audience controls. And you want to move this to, not this part actually, just come past this part to this bit, Advantage Plus Audience. And you want to click this to switch to original audience options, okay? You don't want to be using Advantage Plus Audience. I think I was showing you in the past to use it, didn't see any problem with it, but that has now changed. I am as well using manual because I think this is just getting better now as being like ASC, and we don't want that. We don't want it honing in on, sorry, click use original audience. We don't want this honing in on people lower down the funnel. We want to keep it open, okay? So I literally leave everything open. Don't touch anything else here. Age, completely open. We're going to be targeting with the creative. Location, of course, you'll set the location. So I'm the United Kingdom. I'm going to leave that United Kingdom. And I don't set the gender either. I have accounts where the majority of people are men. They're spending 80% of the budget to men. But I don't change the gender to men. I just leave it as all genders and make creative that resonates with men. And the algorithm is going to naturally lean towards men as well, right? So let's come down here. I think that is everything. All we're going to do is we're going to give the ad set, no, we're not yet. We are, yeah. We're going to give the ad set a name because I've already pre-prepared it. So I'm going to come down to my naming document. Okay, and then I'm just going to give it this name. And I've got a video on my naming document. This is a little bit updated, but hey, it's similar enough. And I'll do an updated video at some point anyway. But yeah, have a naming structure. You can see mine's quite long and extensive, but it is super valuable. So yeah, that's the ad set done. Let's come to the ad now. And we're going to get this going. So because we're in here, let's give it the name that I've pre-prepared. Copy this. And for the people who've seen this a long time, you'll see that the name, the only thing that's changed is I now put flex at the start instead of DCO for dynamic creative optimization. Okay, so you're going to make sure your Facebook page and your Instagram account are selected. For the account you're actually wanting to advertise for, had some issues with client accounts where it's now defaulting to other brands, which has been a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, just always check this identity part is the actual assets of the account you're in. And we're going to come down, flexible ads is selected. That's what we want. And we're going to have multi-advertiser ads selected, as well as, let me just show you it, if I can remember where it is, this thing here, Advantage plus Creative Optimizations. Let's have this selected as well. You could obviously don't need to jump down and do that. You can do it when you come to it. So we're going to give it the catalog. It would be this one. The website URL. Let me just quickly jump into another one so I can get these. I've not made a video in so long. I'm not prepared anymore. I don't remember what I need to do. Okay, let's get it from this one. Oh, that's site links, wrong section. It is this one. Okay, so yeah, make sure it's website URL, not site links. And let's do this part now. Okay, so we're going to upload our creative. So come to this. I'm doing videos for this one. So I'm going to add my videos. Come to upload. And they're in here. Select all these. All right, that took forever, but let's select the 5 videos now. Hit continue. Okay, so we've got our 5 videos. I'm going to show you them after I add the copy. So now we're going to add 5 copy variations. And I put in the name what copy I want to use. So I'm just going to come and get it. 4421. Okay, so we're going to grab copy 44. So remember, I'm adding 3 proven copy. So this has been successful in the past for me. I'm going to add 2137, so 21 as well. And just watch things like this. 37. Okay. So these are existing copy, these 3 that have been proven to work. And now we're going to add some, so add 2 more that are new. Okay, so I've added them down here. So this is a new one. And this is a new one as well. So one thing I do, sometimes I'll add one that is specific to this ad set. Because we're using flex ads now and we're just like, you're just leaving them. And I've got more copy variants. This is something you can do. I will have stuff that is, yes, trying to get greater learnings that will be able to use with any creative. But I'll also add stuff that is relevant to the actual creative sometimes. So, this creative starts with Joe Rogan's podcast. So that wouldn't make any sense if you had it on another creative. But for this one, it does make sense. So I'm going to add it to the roster. And let's say this was the best creative and beat everything else. Obviously, that's just going to sit in this one. I'm not going to take this as a performer and put it in something that is like a image of, I don't know, us versus them or something, right? So yeah, that's just one thing. So we've got our 5 copy and we're going to add our 5 headlines now. So back to my naming thing, here they are, 23, 24. So let's get 23, okay. And we're going to get 24. So you can see how organized I am, guys, but this is what you have to do. This is how you get success. You need to have things organized, referenced, so you can constantly be working with stuff that is proven. You're not just chucking stuff and hoping for success. You need to be strategic, okay? And you can only be strategic if you're recording things in sheets and referencing them. So you can see here, everything that's green, that's stuff that's performed. I'll come back in and I'll highlight it green. So if I'm making new copy, I can come and just look at all the top ones and get inspiration. 33 and 34 are new. Okay, so let's take these. One more. 34, okay, perfect. We've got this, like I said, check Advantage Plus Creative Optimizations on. So I used to recommend not having that. It was called Optimize Creative per person previously. I used to recommend not having it on because what it did is it created multiple different post IDs. So you couldn't come in and grab the winning one because they're all fragmented. But we're not moving the post ID anymore. Everything stays within the ad set. So we absolutely want to benefit from having Meta cutting it up and making lots of different optimizations to our creative, like improving the lighting, whatever, contrast, shape of it, making it a video, expanding it, that are going to help people convert based on their AI and their data on each individual, right? So call to action, e-commerce, just use shop now. Don't use learn more and things. Just always use shop now. And then you're going to come and put in your URL parameters. So let's grab them for here. Highly recommend you do this because you can do certain things with these. And some of those things I will show you in future videos because it's now something that I actually look at in Shopify, but you need to have them in here, which I've always done for Google Analytics, but you need to have them in here to be able to do the things in Shopify with them, right? So, sorry, let me jumping around. That is this all filled in now. You can see that error message has gone away. It was in Greek because I'm in Greece at the moment. Annoying thing about Meta, they always just change the language of the warnings whenever you go into a different country. Rather than just where what your profile is. But yeah, that's that. So that is everything set up. So as I promised, I will show you the actual creatives before we hit publish. So let's come into advanced preview and you can see I've got 5. So remember what I said, you're gonna have one concept and then you're going to change the hooks at the start if it is video. So this concept is a video that I have seen on TikTok, and I basically repurposed it because I liked it. It drew me in, had tons of comments, and it's someone who's a TikTok shop affiliate using it for a vitamin D brand. So guys, like I said, like I showed you in another video, you can repurpose other people's videos, change the script, but make the same video essentially, because it's proven to work. Okay, so I have a good feeling about this one. And funnily enough, the last video I made that was me showing you how you do this type of thing, that's my top creative in this account. So the one I showed you how to go and how I was going to like repurpose someone's video is the top creative in this account now since I did it, so it works. But yeah, I don't know if you're going to hear this. It's been so long since I've made videos that I don't actually know what happens when I play this, but if you can't hear it, sorry. I will try and I'll put them on, or so I'll try to edit them in. But anyway.
So I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and look what a neuroscientist recommends to take for sleep.
Okay, so it starts with, so I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and look what a neuroscientist recommends to take for sleep. And it's just a blank video. This one has a slightly different hook.
So I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and look what a neuroscientist says you should take before bed.
Okay, so instead of sleep, it is what a neuroscientist says you should take before bed. Just trying a little bit of variation. This one, again, it's just, I now say Andrew Huberman.
So I was watching Andrew Huberman on Joe Rogan's podcast, and look what he recommends taking for better sleep.
Okay, so I've changed the start this time a little bit of that first liner. So that's 3 different starts. The rest of the video is completely the same. And then the last ones, I just go back to, I think it was the first one, but now I've put on this text over it. And then the final one, it's the first one again, maybe, or it might be one of the other ones, can't remember.
I was watching Andrew Huberman on Joe Rogan's podcast, and look what he recommends taking for better sleep. My favorite.
Don't know, but it's got a different hook, okay? So what we're doing with flex ads is we don't need to get so detailed where you've been like, okay, isolating the variables for every single one. You know, making like 3 blank ones and then giving all 3 the same headline and trying to get the best one. That's not what flexible ads are designed to do. They're not designed to try and find the very best of the best and put all the spend towards it. They're designed to give individuals the best thing for them. So they want variety, okay? So we want to have a bit of variety, but we still want to control the concept so we know what is working, why something's winning, so we can do more of it. If we just had 10 or 5 completely different videos in here, we can't break down by the video anymore, so we don't know why something is working. Not that we did that before, we stuck to concepts, but you certainly couldn't do it now because you just don't know what's working. You have to stay with things being very, very similar. You know, here the hook is the same. It's talking about something on Joe Rogan and better sleep, but I don't tell you what that thing is. So I'm like creating an open loop for what it is. So it's creating curiosity. It's talking about Joe Rogan and it's talking about sleep, targeting people, giving authority. That is the hook. It's the same hook for every single one. Even if the wording changes a little bit, it's not different, okay? And the visual is the same. It's just we're adding text on some. You could change the visual further. Like I could have shot another clip where it was more where I started zoomed in, or I started with like a different scenery here or something, or like I started on my laptop, whatever. You know, that's fine to include in the same one. I just couldn't be bothered shooting another one. But yeah, variety is good with flexible ads is what I would say, right? And I mean, you guys, do you want to watch the rest of the video? I don't know, probably not. How about the end? I'll throw in the video and you can watch the fuller thing. But anyway, that would be it. Okay, so we're going to hit publish now on this. And hopefully there's no errors and it starts running or scheduled. Okay, so that is scheduled. One thing I would say, guys, so let me just come in, filter these all out. I don't know if other people have been finding this, but I keep finding after the review process, Meta pause your ad quite often, which is very annoying. So, when you schedule something, come in like later and just check that it's actually still flicked on here, because they have been pausing my stuff, right? Okay, so that's the 2 tests scheduled now. I'm going to show you the images test that's set up. So again, you understand what I'm doing with images and Flex ads. So let's come and preview this, okay? So here's what I'm saying, guys. So it's the same thing, 5 images, 5 headline, 5 text. I'll see if I can zoom a little bit. Okay, so look at this. The hook isn't exactly the same, but it's the same hook, right? So sleep support for the UK diet. The actual wording can vary a little bit. That's no problem. But the message it's delivering has to be the same. So like I can say hi or hello. It's the same thing. Sorry, it's the same thing. It's a greeting, but there are different words. So that would be fine. You can say hi, hello, yo, 3 different things. That's fine with flexible ads. But you can't be saying like hi and then goodbye, if you know what I mean, right? So I hope that's not confusing. I hope you understand what I'm trying to convey here. So that's what I've got. I've got this first one says sleep support for the UK diet. This is what it looks like. And I've got 3 benefits here. Restores vital sleep nutrients, cultivates a calming nightly ritual, helps falling asleep, and stops nighttime waking. Okay, so this is a level 2 ad. I'm trying to go for that problem aware audience. So I'm not talking about features of the product. I'm not talking really that much about benefits in terms of people that would be looking at different sleep products, like this is the strength of the magnesium, or it's got this ingredient. That's a more educated audience. I'm going for that higher pool, that problem aware group, and I'm giving them stuff that they would understand without being solution aware, without knowing about sleep supplements in general. They understand all these things, okay? So sleep nutrients, everyone understands nutrients, calming nightly ritual, and falling asleep and stop waking during the night. The core problems people have, right? So that's the first one, sleep support for UK diet. Then you've got this one, sleep support for UK diets. Again, same benefits. This one's a bit different. I've used stronger doses here rather than the same as that one. But it's the same hook. It's very similar. The other 2 are the same. This one here, best sleep aid for a UK diet. Again, same hook, period. And there's no benefits on this one because these are all basically templates, by the way. But yeah, here's another one. Again, same benefits. So that's what it is. I've got an extra one here. That's why that one had a varied one. But sleep support for UK diets. Why we love sleep support for UK diets. So it's adding to the headline, but the headline's the same. And then finally, this one, sleep support made for UK diets, has been here, okay? So that's what I mean, it's variety, but it's the same concept. And if one of these wins, like I can't do the breakdown, of course, I don't know what one's won, but I can see how many people are commenting. I can see what one, sorry, I can show you the preview. You can see the preview of the one with the most engagement, but that's going to be on Facebook. But you'll see in Business Manager who's commenting on the Instagram one, who's commenting on the Facebook one, like what's getting the most engagement. That's the one that's getting the most spend. Okay, so you can look at that yourself if you're managing your actual own brand. If you're working with a client, you can liaise with them and say, hey, where's all the comments going? But in any case, I don't really care. You know, I've got the variety already here. I'm moving away a little bit from micro iterations, okay? I want to do iterations that are a bit bigger. So let's say this concept's proven. Okay, I'm iterating by making some of these again with different, like a pretty much different layout. So it's iterating because the text has worked, or like something's worked in it, but I'm adding a bit more variety than I previously would, where we'd just be like changing the color and stuff. Because I find these days that's maybe a bit too granular. Again, like I said, Meta wants variety in their ads these days, or these types of ads, flex ads. So that's that. And like I said, you can preview the top one by clicking on it at the ad levels, coming into the ad level. let's zoom out. Oh, and hitting preview, coming to Facebook posts or comments. And this one here is the one that's getting the most spend, the most engagement. So it's likely getting the most spend. And that's probably the one that you want to take as a basis to iterate on, okay? But it is not, it's not essential. You could just run it. So if one of these works in terms of pinning it, like this one, all you do to pin it at the top here is you come and you hit this and pin it to the top, okay? So guys, that's the video. Like I said, I'm going to come back, do more videos. They'll be back to being very structured. I just wanted to give you the whole picture of this one and what I'm doing these days. And yeah, because I've been away so long, and just in shooting this video, I realize it's definitely a habit and a skill that you forget a little bit. So I'm a bit rusty with my presentation, with my efficiency. Sorry about that if it has been a bit over the place, but yeah, I will warm up again. And as you can see from the old videos, obviously I keep them very structured and concise, okay? So thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, more will be coming. And if you have questions, drop them down in the comments. Until the next one, thanks for watching and see you very soon.